CBS 4 News This Morning.
Well, hello there. Happy Friday, everyone. It is 5 a.m. February 21st. I'm Maribel Rodriguez.
And I'm Carly Barnett. Lauren Pastrana's on maternity leave. Thank you for joining us.
Meteorologist Zach Gonzalez is here with our cool change coming. Good morning.
Yes, we're looking forward to that cooler weather. Good morning. Happy Friday. Also going to be dealing with some windy and some wet weather. I know you don't want to hear that.
Let's look at traffic. Carly, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. We begin with breaking news out of Lauderhill. That is where a woman is telling CBS 4 that someone set her cars on fire, and it's not the first time it's happened.
CBS 4's Riel Crane is live on the scene with more. Riel, good morning.
Good morning, Maribel and Carly. Yeah, the woman who lives in this home tells us that this is actually the third time that someone has been setting fires at her house. This time, CBS 4 this morning.
Riel, thank you. Now at 5:03, a South Florida man facing charges after creating a major school scare that left a campus on lockdown. This happened at South Dade Senior High School.
Police arrested the man after being spotted riding a dirt bike near the school while carrying a weapon. CBS 4's Amber Diaz has the latest from the West Miami-Dade jail where he was taken.
We seen police officers with guns and stuff.
CBS 4 this morning.
Happening today, the man accused of spying for Russia while living in South Florida is expected to face a judge. Federal prosecutors say Russian government officials recruited Hector Alejandro Cabrera Fuentes to spy on a U.S. informant living in Miami. He was arrested at Miami International Airport earlier this week. He and his wife were trying to fly to Mexico City. Investigators say Cabrera Fuentes admitted to being ordered by Russia to spy on an informant.
This morning, it appears Vladimir Putin is at it again. CBS News has learned that Russia is trying to interfere in this year's presidential campaign. The official responsible for election security briefed members of Congress on the threat, and President Trump did not approve. CBS 4 anchor Elliot Rodriguez reports.
Sources tell CBS News President Trump was furious when he found out about the classified House briefing on CBS 4 this morning.
President Trump has repeatedly downplayed Russia's efforts to interfere in U.S. elections despite past warnings from intelligence agencies.
Meantime, this morning, President Trump says he thinks Roger Stone will be exonerated, even as his longtime confidant now faces more than 3 years in prison. Stone was sentenced in Washington, D.C. yesterday for obstruction, lying to Congress, and witness tampering. Soon after the 40-month sentence was announced, the president decried Stone's conviction as unfair, but he stopped short of saying he'd pardon him.
At some point, I'll make a determination. But Roger Stone and everybody has to be treated fairly. And this has not been a fair process.
The final sentence was far lighter than the original 7 to 9 year sentence federal prosecutors recommended at first. All 4 of those prosecutors resigned from the case after Attorney General William Barr overruled those recommendations.
We have new details this morning on that horrific crash in Pompano Beach that took the life of a rollerblader. BSO has identified her as Elaine Paya Acosta. She was killed while rollerblading on a bike path near Pompano Air Park on Northeast 10th Street. Cell phone video shows the moments after a car lost control and slammed into her and a tree. The impact was so violent the car split in two, critically injuring the people inside.
The lady that appeared to be ejected from the passenger seat, I saw a wig laying right there by the door, and then another male laying in the street. It looked like he got ejected from the driver's side of the car.
Her family has set up a GoFundMe to help with the expenses. You can find more information about it on our website, cbsmiami.com.
Also, new details this morning coming out of Tallahassee. That's where Florida lawmakers have passed a bill that requires anyone under 18 to receive parental consent for abortions. The bill is expected to be signed by Governor DeSantis. The State House voted 75-43, largely along party lines, for the legislation which Republicans arguing parents should be included in the decision, and Democrats arguing it could put girls at greater risk of danger. The bill will officially become law July 1st.
Time now 5:09, a tragic end to the search for a South Florida woman who disappeared months ago.
Police found her body buried in the backyard of a home hundreds of miles away. Now one man is facing charges. Details ahead at 5:30.
First, tensions not easing up after this week's Democratic debate. Several candidates still squabbling as they head into this weekend's Nevada caucuses. We have the latest from the campaign trail.
Plus, a fiery sight at the airport as a small plane skids down the runway. Find out what happened next.
Now on to campaign 2020. On the heels of a fiery debate, the Democratic presidential candidates are gearing up for this weekend's Nevada caucuses. Mike Bloomberg, who is trying to bounce back after his performance, says he fears the party will nominate someone who won't beat President Trump in November. CBS 4's Laura Podesta reports.
Mike Bloomberg says he isn't going anywhere. CBS News.
President Trump also said Senator Amy Klobuchar choked in the debate and again predicted that Senator Bernie Sanders will emerge as the Democratic nominee.
In news across America this morning, police in Hawaii have arrested a mother wanted in Idaho in the disappearance of her children. Lori Vallo's children, 7-year-old Joshua J. Vallo and 17-year-old Tylee Ryan, have not been seen since September. Vallo and her husband, Chad Daybell, fled Idaho for Hawaii 2 months after the kids went missing. Hawaiian authorities ordered Vallo to turn her children over to them in January, but she failed to do so. It's not known if the kids are in Hawaii. And this morning, jurors will begin day 4 of deliberations in the Harvey Weinstein trial. The former movie producer is charged with 5 counts, including rape and sexual assault. Weinstein has pleaded not guilty, and his defense attorneys argued that the sexual encounters were consensual. The jury will resume deliberations at 9:30 this morning, but court will end early due to a family issue for one of the defense attorneys.
Caught on camera, some scary moments for a pilot trying to land a small plane at the Daytona Beach International Airport. Look at that. You see the plane coming in for a landing, but then it skids across a runway without any landing gear, sending sparks flying. People working at nearby hangars were stunned.
And all of a sudden I hear this scrape. And when I look over, I see the jet scraping on the runway.
Well, luckily, the 2 people on board were not hurt. No word on what caused the landing gear problems.
5:20 now, and Star Wars fans, get ready for more Baby Yoda. New merchandise is on the way, and the Force is adorable with these new toys.
Plus, the trend of weird fast food merchandise continues as Mickey D's hopes to set the mood of fast food. What they're offering next and what's trending.
All right, Chris, thanks. It is 5:24 now, and here are the hot topics trending this morning on social media. Are you ready for this? It's the moment fans of The Mandalorian Star Wars have been waiting for. Soon you can have your very own Baby Yoda. There it is.
It's coming. Disney revealed a preview of all kinds of Baby Yoda merchandise, or the child, as it's officially known as. So you can get ready for the action figures, the plush dolls, the Lego sets, the board games, even an animatronic Baby Yoda that blinks and moves and laughs. So all of this is filling a void that's been lingering since The Mandalorian debuted on Disney Plus back in November. The show's creators actually asked Disney not to produce any toys before the show was released so that they could keep this character a secret. But you won't see these in stores yet. I know, a bit of a tease. The toys are available for pre-order on Disney's website. So you can go ahead and book your Baby Yoda, but
just adding more fuel to the craze, right?
Of course.
Well, Barbie is paying tribute to important women in history. Mattel has released the latest line in its Barbie Inspiring Women series. Jazz singer Ella Fitzgerald, tennis legend Billie Jean King, and founder of modern nursing Florence Nightingale. All 3 dolls come with specifically themed accessories, a doll stand, and a certificate of authenticity. Mattel called the women incredible heroines of their time who paved the way for generations of girls. Very nice.
I was always a Barbie girl.
Yeah, me
so this
too.
one excites me a little more.
Living in a Barbie world.
Exactly. Well, you know that feeling when you come home and your whole house smells like something delicious that you cooked up in the kitchen? Well, now you can experience the scent of melted cheese, burgers, and baked bread with just the light of a match. McDonald's has put these scents in a candle, 6 of them to be exact. The Quarter Pounder scented pack features bun, ketchup, pickle, cheese, onion, and beef. The candles are not for sale yet, but you can check them out on McDonald's Golden Arches Unlimited merchandise website.
Okay, I don't think I'm liking that.
Is this a joke?
Yeah, and then the scent stays on your clothes and your hair, and you, not liking it, right?
Onion, no thank you.
There's always great videos and stories to see online. Check out more of what's trending on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and cbsmiami.com/webextra.
Straight ahead at 5:30, he helped men that get a full head of hair again. And today, many are remembering the founder and, of course, best client for Hair Club for Men.
And it's that time of the year when things are really cooking in Miami Beach. We take you to the opening night of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival just ahead.
This is CBS 4 News This Morning.
Right now at 5:30, breaking news out of Lauderhill, where one woman tells us several of her cars were set on fire. And this is actually not the first time fire investigators have been called out to this house.
Mystery solved. The missing Broward woman's body is found buried in a backyard hundreds of miles away.
Plus, are you tired of the heat? There's some good news for us. Things will be cooling off this weekend. Lisette joins us with a look at our Friday forecast. TGIF.
Yeah.
TGIF.
We need some nice weather in the South Beach Wine and Food Festival. Everything outdoors.
Yes, you have a big party
Yeah,
this
we have
weekend.
a big party this weekend. So wow,
Everyone's
crossing
making
my fingers.
plans. So I wish I could say it's going to be cooler and drier and that's it, but we're going to have to deal with a little bit of windy and wet weather. Not a washout. It won't be a complete washout, but I would suggest you hang on to the umbrella because from time to time we could see some of these little pesky, quick moving showers. And here it is, the front is bringing some moisture with it. So that's the reason for the rain that's expected at times throughout the weekend. And right now we're looking at that wet weather in central North Florida. Real-time Doppler radar is nice and quiet this Friday morning though, and the wind out of the west-northwest 5-9 miles an hour. Visibility has dropped only a little in Kendall, but we could see some more fog developing in other areas. And hey, already we're a little cooler with 69 degrees in Homestead, 70 in Kendall, low 70s for Fort Lauderdale, and in Miami, mid to upper 70s through the Keys. So already about 5-6 degrees cooler in comparison to yesterday. As we head into your weekend, today 76, so that sure beats the high of yesterday, 86, and will become windy with cooler showers, especially for the first half of the day. Then tomorrow we will deal with scattered showers, breezy to blustery conditions, low to mid 70s for highs. Sunday, it looks like we'll enjoy a little bit more sunshine, the rain chance lower with just a chance for spotty showers in the upper 70s. Let's get a check of your drive with Chris Barr. Good morning.
Good morning, Lisette, and good morning, South Florida. And we'll head over to Miami-Dade County now with a southbound view of the Palmetto Expressway at Northwest 122nd Street. You'll see some already getting the morning commute underway. Right now, they should find no accidents or delay in Miami-Dade. The express lanes are open on the Palmetto and I-75, but construction still has the southbound fast lane closed on I-95 just before the Golden Glades interchange. More overnight road work, I-95 northbound at the Julia Tuttle. 2 right lanes are blocked. That's a look at traffic. Carly, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. We're staying on top of breaking news out of Lauderhill. That is where, for the third time in just over a month, the homeowner tells CBS 4 News someone set something on her property on fire. Crime scene investigators were out there this morning in the area of Boulevard Woods South. All 3 of the woman's vehicles in her front driveway were set on fire overnight, but they were able to quickly extinguish those flames. The woman says someone also set cars on fire at her neighbor's house before the fires began happening at her home. CBS 4's Riel Creighton is working on this story. We have a live report coming up at 6. 5:35 now, a tragic discovery. A South Florida woman missing for months was found murdered hundreds of miles away. The victim was 29 years old. She apparently traveled to Mississippi to see a man she met online. Instead, police say that man killed her and buried her. CBS 4's Carrie Cott is in Coral Springs with the latest.
Police in Mississippi confirmed the worst fears of family members of missing Coral Springs woman Sarah Jane Willard.
CBS 4 this morning.
And this morning, the man police say was the gunman in a deadly triple shooting in Lauderdale Lakes is in custody. 22-year-old Akeem Cordell Brown turned himself in Wednesday night. Brown is accused of shooting a mother and her 2 adult children on Northwest 21st Street last week. The children survived and were taken to Broward Health Medical Center. The mother was pronounced dead. Brown is charged with second-degree murder and second-degree attempted murder. He's being held without bond at the Broward County Jail.
Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney is revamping the board that recommends punishment for deputies accused of wrongdoing, citing the fallout from cases like the Parkland school shooting, the DeLuca roll case, and several other use of force cases. Sheriff Toney says a culture change was necessary to restore balance and fairness. The sheriff says he and his command staff interviewed each of the 11 new board members, including 4 representatives from the community. He also appointed former judge Julio Gonzalez as the chairman. Members of the new Professional Standards Committee will take over next month. And an update on yesterday's story of Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney saving the life of an unconscious driver. That driver, John Dillon, tells us he spoke with the sheriff and was able to thank him for saving his life. Dillon had passed out and stopped breathing while stopped at a red light in Coral Springs Tuesday night. Sheriff Toney just happened to be behind him, realized something was wrong, performed CPR, and got him breathing again.
Turning now to Campaign 2020, with Florida's presidential primary less than 4 weeks away, Broward County is testing its voting equipment ahead of the big day. Several county residents had a chance to watch a test of how things will play out at the polls on March 17th. Broward, of course, is aiming for no mistakes on the heels of the November 2018 recount mess. Machines have been upgraded, transmission of results will be faster, and the ballot design has been vetted. Miami-Dade will run a similar test next week.
This morning, the puppy found abandoned with a gunshot wound to the jaw is on the road to recovery. We are happy to report this morning that Clover is with her foster family, and she's doing really well following her surgery. The dog was found earlier in the week wandering the streets in the Redland. She was taken to an animal hospital in Hollywood where veterinarians performed surgery. A bullet was removed from her cheek. Her foster family says she's eating slowly and she's sleeping a lot. Once she's fully recovered, she will join a forever family.
And tonight at 11, where is Noemi Gonzalez? Her family is speaking out on the 6-year-old cold case.
As a family, you just don't give up hope that it's somehow, some way, someday we will find her.
Gonzalez, a former 911 dispatcher with the North Miami Police Department, simply vanished from her home, taking nothing with her.
This is one of those cases that people talk about in police work where you have the case that kind of affects you in a personal way. This is a case for us. She was a family member here. She was employed here.
Tonight, the search for new answers to old questions. Cold case, the disappearance of Noemi Gonzalez at 11 on CBS 4 News.
Time now 5:40. Get ready to wine and dine and have a sampling of South Florida's favorite restaurants.
So yummy. Up next, the South Beach Wine and Food Festival is underway. We're taking you to a delicious and Italian opening night after the break.
Looks so good. And if movies are more your speed, Harrison Ford is back on the big screen with Call of the Wild, a preview of this classic novel being brought to life in this morning's Friday Flicks. Chris, thank you. 5:47 now, opening night of the South Florida staple that attracts foodies and the non-foodies to the shores of Miami Beach. Hard to believe this is number 19 of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
Incredible. And last night was all about Italian cuisine. CBS 4's Francis Wen takes us there for a taste.
More than 30 chefs from all over South Florida and the country here to showcase their Italian bites.
All right, the weekend is almost here, and it's time to catch some Friday flicks. Harrison Ford returns to the big screen, and he's trading one furry co-star for another.
Ford is setting out with a sled dog as he brings back the classic Jack London novel, Call of the Wild. This is Entertainment's Tonight, Kelty Knight.
The Yukon is a dangerous place.
And you can catch Entertainment Tonight weeknights at 7:30 here on CBS 4, right after CBS 4 News at 7.
5:57 now, and that'll do it for CBS 4 This Morning at 5.
Here's what's coming up on CBS 4 This Morning at 6. Developing overnight, a rude awakening for one woman after she says someone set her cars on fire. We're live with what the police are telling us.
And here's a live look outside. After days of near record heat, a cool change is heading our way. We'll see how long that will last.
And class is back in session after a major school scare. One man now facing charges after he's seen carrying a rifle near the campus and prompting a lockdown.
Plus, a new intelligence report is raising concerns of election interference as lawmakers are told that Russia is looking to help President Trump get reelected. Stay with us. CBS 4 this Friday morning. We'll be right back.